Well, hello again. I'm going to talk about the devotions we did every day. We had 2 devotions every day. The first one we did in the morning, and Jess led them. We talked about mountains, and we had scriptures that talked about mountains, but we learned something new every day, like how big, how tall they were, the different kinds, how they were formed, which is really interesting because I had no idea. So those were really great. And then we had some at night. And Jim led those, and what we did was it broke down the scripture that was just read. It broke it down piece by piece, and we related it to what we were doing down there and also to other parts of our lives. And we also at the very beginning watched a movie on poverty, which was interesting. So our devotions just consisted of that stuff.
Hello. I'm going to talk a little bit about the places we visited throughout the week. Throughout our week in Tennessee, Jessica Schellenberger talked about mountains in the morning, as Sarah just mentioned, and she provided us with devotions with a theme that revolves around mountains, which was great because we spent some time visiting the Great Smoky Mountains. The day after we got there, we went off to Gatlinburg, which was up in the mountains. While there, we spent some time touring the site. They had a bunch of candy and chocolate shops, which was perfect for me because I certainly love candy and chocolate. And they also had a bunch of other tourist shops and the famous Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum. The mountains were indeed beautiful, and I was very glad we went there. We also visited Caves Cove early in the week, which was off in the mountains and was a place where you could drive along a long path. It's a great place, I heard, if you're looking to see a bear in the summertime. While there, we stopped to see an old cabin and we saw lots of deer. Our need to eat something sweet did not end there. Many of us visited a local cupcake shop called Cup Katie's Cupcakes. The cupcakes were very large and very delicious. Towards the end of the week, we visited Maryville College, which was similar in size to Westminster College, and we were lucky to meet about 20 students and ate ice cream as we socialized. We also got to learn a little bit about their college and the way they worshiped on campus. On our last day in Tennessee, after completing our tasks at the worksite, we were off to Knoxville, Tennessee. It was very fun learning about the little town, and we broke off into small groups and went to local restaurants. One of my favorite places that we stopped at was a local gelato store, which was a perfect way to end the week. Although we got to experience a lot of fun and exciting things in Tennessee, I was very grateful for Becky and Daryl and all the other people that we went on the trip with. And I definitely encourage all who have not been on a work trip to go on one next year. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jordan Moon, and I'm talking about the downtime whenever we weren't at the work site or at a community dinner. The church we stayed at had a big gym where we got to play volleyball together, and normally I wouldn't be into that, but because I'm really bad at volleyball, but we just all got to a point where we knew each other so well that it didn't matter, and we just all had a really good time playing volleyball together, and even with the other college that was with us at the work site. And then I think Jim brought a portable golf set, and so we had some fun playing golf in the hallways of the church. And then the food was really good. It was rough waking up in the morning at 6 or 7 to prepare everything, but we had some pancakes and eggs and tater tot casserole. And then our devotions times, we focused on the mountains since that was where we got to visit all throughout the week, and even on our drive to the work site you could see the mountains in the distance, and it was just a reminder of our purpose at the work site, and just everyone we met that week to just share with them everything we know and just love them. And I really enjoyed the work trip, and if you are considering going on one, definitely do it. a really good experience.
I'm going to be talking about the Restore, which is, we had a bunch of like snowy and cold and rainy days, so we went to something called the Restore, which is, I would equivalent to like a Goodwill. There's clothes, and then they also have hardware and different things that people can come and buy for really cheap. And in that area, there's a lot of povertish people, so they like to come there and get stuff that they can use for their house or for their family. And so I worked there the first day, and I'm going to start out with Proverbs 16:9. It says, "In their hearts human plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps." And this verse really pertained to me on the first work day because it was beautiful outside, and Jim goes, "Okay, these 3 people are going to the Restore," and I was like, really? I want to be outside. It's sunny. The only day it's sunny, and I'm going inside. And I wasn't too happy about it, but I was like, okay, I'm going to go and have an open mind. Hopefully I'll be able to reach people there. And when I got there, I started working with the clothes, and you guys saw the pile of clothes and the pictures. And I was working with this woman named Betty, who was the sweetest like old woman. She's kind of like a grandma. And we were working and talking, and towards the end of the day, she looked at me and goes, "You remind me so much of my granddaughter." I was like, "Oh, how old is your granddaughter?" And she looks at me and goes, "She passed away a year ago, and I've been laid up since, and this is the first couple weeks I've been back at work because I've had a heart attack and not been able to be working at the Restore." And it broke my heart to hear that she lost someone so close to her. And we continued to work, and I just talked to her, and at the end of the day, she was like, "Please come back tomorrow. I feel like I got to spend an extra day with my granddaughter. You have been such a blessing to me, and I appreciate you being here." So it just showed me that I had plans in my own heart, but God had a different plan for me that day to help me reach a woman and give her an extra day with her granddaughter. So.
Okay, so one of my favorite experiences from the trip was at the Restore, where I spent a lot of my time with Jess, Katie, and Jamie a little bit, where we spent a lot of time painting. When we first approached these rooms, they were just completely filthy, scuffed up, dusty. They just needed painting. So we went at it for about a day and a half. We went back the second day when everyone else was freezing cold. We got the luxury of staying inside, getting coffee, treats, and finishing up our job. But in the end, it was satisfying because we saw the final product. As dirty as they were in the beginning, they were just perfect, it seemed anyway, in the end. So, but when it was said and done, I was given a WC Painter Award by Jim. And which I forgot I was supposed to bring it, so, but it's just a paintbrush. But the memories and value that's attached to it is more than just a paintbrush. So it reminds me of my experiences and the achievement that happened on the trip. So yeah, it's a great time. I would encourage anyone to go on a trip. So.
So as everyone said so far, we had a great time down in Tennessee, but one thing I want to talk to you about specifically is I had the opportunity to work in the book section of the Restore, and does anybody like reading? Just a couple people? Okay, you know, more people than I thought. So yeah, I really have a passion for reading. I have so many books. If you come to my dorm room, you can tell which side of my room is, which side of the room I have, because like there's books everywhere. But I love working with books, and I had the opportunity to do that. And more than that though, I got the opportunity to work with this woman named Frances, and she was like the sweetest lady. She was like the sweetest lady to work with. She worked in this book section all by herself, and there was a picture up there earlier of me like this in front of all the books, and that was really our expression because there were books like piled in this room about the size of a closet, and we couldn't see the floor, we couldn't see any of the walls, and poor old Frances was sitting there in like a little 1-by-1 space in a chair, sorting through boxes of books. So Brenna and I were in there, we were helping her, and she was so glad we were there to help her. She didn't have to lift these heavy boxes, you know, she was pretty small, and but she was so excited that we were there, and all day would be cracking jokes with each other, and it was just a great time to experience her. So even more than like working there, just like meeting the people that we met was a great experience, so hopefully you get to have the same experience.